This is Eric Singer live on Gazette.com with continuing coverage here of the elections. In just moments, we'll be going live. And AJ, why don't you just go ahead and just pan around. You can see a pretty happy room around us. As you can see, a pretty happy room around us. We're here live at the Mining Exchange with the John Suthers campaign, and we should be able to get started relatively soon. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get started.
Everyone got speed? Thank you for waiting, sorry.
Ready. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. I can't tell you how delighted we are by the results tonight. We did some polling throughout the campaign, and based on that, we really thought that 40% was kind of our most optimistic result. To get, over 47% of the vote, we feel incredibly well positioned for the runoff. We did not spend all the money that we raised, so we'll have plenty of money to spend in the runoff. Obviously, our task is to make sure we get all the support that we had tonight to re-vote again on May 19th and also pick up a few more votes. And we feel very good about our prospects. As I said in my remarks from the podium, we feel that our message really resonated. People want to see Colorado Springs start moving forward in terms of economic development. For 15 years now, we've lagged behind the rest of the state of Colorado in economic development, and over that same period of time, our infrastructure has deteriorated significantly. So my priorities were very clear. Let's change the political climate at City Hall to make it more conducive to economic development and community development. Let's begin to address this infrastructure problem that not only impacts our own residents, but impacts our ability to attract new employers here. And then let's very aggressively pursue new job creation, both trying to get companies that are here to expand and trying to get new companies to Colorado Springs. And I think that message really resonated, and that's what resulted in our really fantastic showing tonight. And as I say, we're very optimistic about the runoff.
You did the numbers. City Clerk Sarah Johnson said there was still about 10,000 ballots left.
Yeah.
You're confident it's going to be a runoff and not a 50% plus one?
Usually, late counted votes usually kind of reflect the percentages that have gone before. So I fully expect a runoff.
Have you reached out to the other candidates?
I've got all their telephone numbers here, and I will do that as soon as I get through here.
So far, who are you planning for? Because there's still 10 to 11,000 votes still yet to be counted to see who will be challenging John Suthers.
It's clearly going to be Mary Lou Makepeace. She's going to, I think she's got like 23% of the vote. Joel's got 15. The remaining votes are not going to change that.
How are you?
I wouldn't suspect.
How are you going to reach out to the candidates who didn't vote for you and to their voters to be able to convince them you are that person?
Well, I feel pretty good about the prospects that supporters of Amy Lathan and Joel Miller will find me a more attractive candidate than Mary Lou Makepeace. I can't be positive of that, but I would suspect philosophically they'd be more inclined towards me, and I'll try and get that message out to them.
And if that message was right now and you had to look at our camera and say, these are the top three things why John Suthers is your man in the runoff, they would be?
Well, I mean, I'm a limited government guy, but the fact of the matter is running a city is much different than the state or federal government. There's what you've got in a city is police and fire, you've got public works, you've got parks, and you've got transportation. Those are going to be my emphasis. If I'm elected mayor, we're going to spend the first several months demonstrating to the public exactly the nature and extent of our infrastructure problem. We're going to show what sorts of revenue increases we can expect from the growth of the city, the extent to which there's a gap, and basically ask the opinion of the voters, how are we going to make up that gap? Do you want to borrow it, do another skip bonds? Do you want to do a limited duration sales tax strictly to deal with roads and stormwater? The public's going to decide how we address these issues. But it's up to me to communicate, exactly what the situation is, how much money we have in the existing budget, and how much we need in addition to deal with the infrastructure backlog that we have.
I think all of the candidates at some point have said they want to mend the relationship at City Hall. How is your plan to do that different from maybe some of the other candidates?
Well, I think what's going to be different at City Hall is a whole different level of communication and management style. I've been a manager for a long time, a leader for a long time of large organizations. I know how to communicate with people that disagree with me. And it's not going to be nasty emails back and forth. It's going to be face-to-face conversations. Here's our points of agreement. Here's our points of disagreement. How do we move forward? And that's the kind of communication style that I'll bring to the table. I have no question that the citizens of Colorado Springs will see a whole different relationship. We're not always going to agree, but you'll have it's going to be a whole different sort of collaborative deal.
Do you think that the lack of turnout, the fact that it's going to be probably 10 or 15,000 votes less than the first round 4 years ago, is that a reflection on how the public feels about how the city has run the last few years?
I don't know, Ralph. I just don't know. We'll see how many votes are actually cast. I think, what were there, 70,000? They think they've got another 11,000 or something. Yeah. So you're 81,000. I think there was 90,000 cast 4 years ago. I do think that the voter totals are inflated.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't purge like they used to. So I don't think there was 225,000 voters. But I can't explain why fewer people did it, whether it's the Easter weekend, whatever. All I know is I'm very pleased with the result. It exceeded our expectations. We know what our job is right now is to get all the folks that voted for me the first time out again and pick up a few more votes. And that's what we plan to do.
Did the numbers that you saw on that first information dump surprise you that Joel Miller was ahead of Amy Lathan?
It did a little bit. I anticipated that Amy would finish third. In the polling we did, Amy was third and Joel was fourth. But the last poll we did was 3 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. If anybody has any individual things.
And that was just an interview with John Suthers, who could be the next mayor of Colorado Springs. We're reporting live here at the Mining Exchange, where, as you can see behind me, John Suthers is continuing to ask questions. Right now, at this point, until the next information dump, which is in about 17 minutes or so, that release of new information from the City Administration Building by the City Clerk's office, that will be going on roughly around 8:30, about 10 to 11,000 votes still yet to be counted. And of course, we'll keep you in touch with what's going on. We'll also be going to other candidate gatherings to talk with them to get their take on what's going on. For now, I'm Eric Singer reporting live at the Mining Exchange to make sure you're in the know when it comes to election results here on Gazette.com.